Hello, and welcome back to Elden Ring. We're back with a post commentary. This will be the last one, fortunately, or last one until the next glitch happens. Who knows? So yeah. Last time, what did we do? We got destroyed by the Valiant Gargoyles. That last time, it might have been. So we're not doing that again. We're instead getting destroyed by ancestral followers. Yeah, it was a quick death, that one, but it happens sometimes. You get stun locked. Yeah. I adjusted audio settings a lot around recently, so let me know if it sounds better, hopefully. A lot of gains and noise suppressions and noise gates and expanders and free band whatevers, and yeah. Last episode we did light our flames, and that opened the way to a rematch with the ancestor spirit. I will never get over how beautiful this fight is, just from the soundtrack to the elegance of the movements of the boss. I mean, that gets a bit slightly broken a bit in this fight, the elegance bit, but you know, it'll always mean something to me. We deal great damage to this thing, which makes me very confused about the gargoyles that are in the same area and do not take any of the damage that this thing does. And it doesn't even deal that much damage in comparison. Has a free bounce always. Hard to get hit by that, but it's a really fun attack. It's so telegraphed, but you always feel good about dodging it. I don't know. It's a weird balance to strike with Souls bosses between making the player feel powerful and making them feel not powerful. Because these games do have a reputation. Here is the central gimmick of this fight. This version can heal up. I failed to get the power attack off. It was foolish of me to think a boss would stand still for that long. I just walked to the middle of the arena. So that healing is it's what I'm going to justify for this boss having so little health, because you can kill it in about 10 seconds of DPS, but you have to kill it, you know. It can get all of that health back. And generally I found that it's just good to just tank the AoE damage that it does. How I missed any of those. And yeah, it just starts Beyblading, and that's where I'm thinking like the elegance of this boss fight is a bit broken. I didn't expect that for sure. But yeah, we go again. I know it's imitating like the other deer that roll like in the overworld, but it just looks weird to me. Sacred Blade being Sacred Blade and missing, it's a Sacred Blade staple, to be honest. I mean, look at that though. 2 R1s dealing 20% of its health. I thought I'd try hitting the ball just in case. Like, I saw, well, I noticed that when it did the healing, some of these like spirit animals died. So maybe it was, you know, draining power from those things. But that wasn't the case. See what I mean about tanking? I took the brunt of the AoE anyway, but it got all of itself back, so I didn't get anything for it. If I just tanked it, maybe it would have been on like 40% health after healing, and that then I would have taken a swing and I would have been fine. But I don't know if this thing is weak to holy, because like look at the damage I'm dealing to this thing. What a contrast between this and the Valiant Gargoyle duo, of which I'm still not happy with. Yeah, we get the Remembrance of a Regal Ancestor, which isn't bad. As far as optional bosses go, they don't need to be these like powerful Nameless Kings like every time. Nameless King is like my favorite, probably my favorite Souls boss ever. Except I don't know, it may be overtaken by one or two in the later stages of this game, but like not every side boss needs to be that. What a optional side boss needs to do is it needs to offer a fresh experience, and Nameless King does that. Regal Ancestor Spirit definitely does that. Yeah. A big problem with this game I found is that they treat every boss like it's the final boss sometimes, and what I mean by that is they will treat every boss like it has to be a marathon, like it's an ordeal to overcome. Like, not just for difficulty, because there are bosses that, you know, they're hard, but they're not final boss hard, you know. It's just a, I don't know how best to put it. I'll see if I can come up with some examples later on in the episode, but yeah. We find ourselves in the Altus Plateau in the Sage's Cave. Because it's called the Sage's Cave, I took this as a like mage compound, which it is, kind of. Since we went for Rare Lucaria, mages have been associated with hidden walls. So I'm hitting a lot of walls here just for experimentation's sake, and because, you know, it's pretty clear when you walk into a cave and there's a dead end, there's gonna be a bit more to it than that. And look at these, the torches are literally saying, hey, there's a pathway here, if you're paying attention. And of course, I am level designer here, it's what I do. Although I can't really call myself a level designer recently. I haven't designed any levels in a while. I've been writing, and that's definitely different. Yeah, I'm still trying to think of examples, but like it's the feeling that you get. We get a few items here, the wooden shield being the most unique. It's the feeling it gives you, like the stress that the boss commands in you. If every boss was Soul of Cinder, Dark Eater Midir is like a boss, right? That makes itself feel like it's a final boss, even though it isn't. Pontiff is a boss that makes it feel like he's the final boss, even though, you know, Pontiff was designed to be the final boss of Dark Souls 3. That's probably why. There's a certain way that they're coded, and the threat that they pose to you is... Look at this guy distracted. He points you at the hidden wall like a Hollow Knight enemy. Tells you to hit him, and then there's a hidden wall behind him. Yeah. What's a tough boss that isn't coded like a final boss? I don't know. I'd say Capra Demon isn't, and when I say coded, I don't mean like program coded. I mean like with the symbolism and the way the fight runs and the rhythm of it. Capra Demon is a hard fight, but it doesn't feel like a final boss. That's a small arena. What about a big arena? Maybe... I'm just running through bosses in my head, like, not Centipede Demon. Ceaseless Discharge. Massive boss. Very stressful to fight, but not coded like a final boss. Yeah, we got these, what are these? Talons. They're pretty cool. They look cool. I like the dual... Raptor Talons, yeah. I like the dual blades. They look cooler than the hook claws, I think. The Wolverine claws. Just for the curve on them. I like curved blades, if you haven't sussed that out from my using the dismounter. That's definitely not my shield, by the way. Don't worry about it. Beware of hole. Yeah, the more bosses that are coded as final bosses, the more fatigue you instill onto the player. If every boss is the final boss, that's just going to wear down the patience that the player has for any sort of like other things to do. If Scourge Radahn, for example, was the first boss that was coded like the final boss, then maybe I wouldn't have been so mad at it. Maybe not, but you know, there's always the chance. But because every boss is so stressful in this game, it makes them more annoying than endearing. And with like the fights so far in the series that I did enjoy, that did kick my ass, they were the ones that weren't coded like final bosses. Tree Sentinel, I walked through the gates of the tutorial, walked up to the Tree Sentinel and died to him 23 times. Godskin Apostle, that area, I think I was like under leveled drastically. He one-shot me with everything, but I toughed it out because I enjoyed that fight. He wasn't coded like a final boss. That was Necromancer Garrus. He definitely wasn't coded like a final boss. We hit the family heads. He had a buddy with him in the arena as well, but I accidentally killed him. Body damage, man. It's weird in this game. It will do fuck all to everybody, but except for like these really niche side bosses, like the Deathbirds and the Mariners. Because, yeah, all of the main bosses are very wholly resistant. Oh well. I made my bed. I'll lay in it. And that's not, yeah, it's not to say that these final boss coded bosses are, you know, bad. It's just they need to be more spaced out. Or like, not all of them be this threatening. Dancer of the Boreal Valley is such a tough fight. But it's not coded as a final boss. I'll explain that later, but right now we have an invisible Black Knife Assassin. Ow. My spine, my everything actually, I just got stabbed. This is really interesting. It's a Priscilla fight. So, in painted world of Ariamis in Dark Souls 1. That's when we sort of got the first iteration of this, like, look for footsteps type bosses. Priscilla goes completely invisible, and you have to suss her out by her footsteps, obviously. In Dark Souls 3, they called back to this in the painted world of Ariandel, where Sister Frida has one attack that's themed like this instead of the entire boss fight, which is also pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, Dancer is a great example of it. She shows up when you've defeated Overlords of Cinder except for Lothric. We have a quick level up here. And she's the gatekeeper for Lothric Castle. You have to beat her. And you are guaranteed to encounter her directly after one of the Lords of Cinder. But how is Dancer not coded as a final boss villain? She's designed to slow things down. She's a dancer, and you enter that boss fight, and she's slow, she's elegant, she's not meant to stress you out. It's a dance. It's almost a reward to fight her, even though she's gonna kick your ass, because it's such a pleasant experience, like a sensory experience. I don't know. It's hard to describe these things without getting into some weird esoteric concepts. But yeah, I found this these raptor feathers, and it's just the bandit set with a cloak on it. I wish I had a better set underneath it, but the cape is so good. So we're doing some quick fashion here. That was a very interesting cave because it had a bunch of it had some cool level design with all the hidden walls, and had 2 boss fights, Garrus and the Black Knife Assassin. So, you know, we like to see it. This silver tear mask is so goofy though. I wonder if I can make a decent set with those horns. Probably. It's not going to be easy though. And that traveler hat. I want to do something with that eventually. Somehow I feel it's too basic to use the skeletal mask with the raptor cloak, because they go together naturally. I want to do my own fashion. But of course, Carrion Knight helmet is the best helmet in the game. Fashion, I think. Can you beat it? So yeah, we're still roving around the Altus Plateau. A short distance away from the cave, we find all of the caravans. I know a bit more about the lore later on. We get the ruler set here. So these caravans, I might know why these caravans are all strewn around like this. Of course I keep it a secret because that's not lore I would have known at the time of this recording. Especially since we're getting interrupted by the ancient dragon Lanso. And look at how cool he is, man. All of the dragons we've had so far have all had the same model. These guys have a different model, and boy it shows. And it has the red lightning. It's really cool. He's using these wing beasts to knock me down. It's not doing any damage yet, but it's really cool. This dragon is more like serpentine than the others. It's less Dark Souls, this dragon. And yeah, I get incinerated there. Oh well, for a 7-5. We keep the numbers. We keep the numbers going up. I've made a decision. I'm not sure if it's a good decision yet, but it is certainly a decision. I started a I started a death counter that is recording what has killed me, where I've died and everything, like which area has killed me the most. So for that I need to go through all of the other 70 episodes and find out where I died for all of them. If I had the files for each episode, might be a bit easier, like the edited ones, but like, yeah, I don't. That's so much space to keep. Imagine 70 episodes. Yeah, the dragon just goes. Good for him, man. He'll be back. He's just here to remind us that we ain't all that just because we made it to the Altus Plateau. But we won't be here for long. Because after we rest here, we're going to find a friend. Or perhaps an enemy. I'm not too sure what to make of the people like Raya.
I've been waiting for you.
From the Volcano Manor.
I knew you had the stuff of champions. I hereby invite you to the Volcano Manor. Take my hand and have audience with my mistress. Give me your hand. I will pray that you follow the same path as Lady Tanith.
Take me away. Take me away. Come on, editing me. You should have taken out this loading screen. That's the beauty of post editing. I get to take out all of the fluff. Anyway, we're here. If we recognize that Lady Tanith and her Crucible Knight, they're a loading screen like image that pops up sometimes. So we'll go speak to her first.
Brave tarnished.
I wanted to talk to the Crucible Knight, to be honest.
To the Volcano Manor. I am Tanith, the proprietress of this house. Raya spoke well of you. A warrior of promise, I believe she said. Perhaps you are prepared to make a commitment. Will you join us here at the Volcano Manor and resist the tide? Why accept the burden of their grace, or be fooled by the dogmatic ramblings of the Fingers? Rise with us against the Erd Tree.
I joined Volcano Manor here, but I don't really do a lot of Volcano Manor stuff, and I sort of regret that. Not because I care about Volcano Manor, but you get some cool armor sets if you do Volcano Manor stuff, which I do not have access to anymore. And Big Sag Fashion Soul is ruined, such as my experience and my day. I think here I'm contemplating in the original recording, contemplating if I should do this. I reasoned that in these games, just joining a faction doesn't really do anything to like other characters. It's only like what you do while in that faction. Yeah, this place is very dark, very brooding. and we've been spirited away. Look at that helmet, man. I love it so much. A million and one messages, one half flipping through the wall. I wonder what that could be. Slugs! I elect to explore this nook immediately. I'd probably lose it if I left it. More slugs. These guys need to clean up their act. First off, something incredible ahead. There was a bug in this area, active when I recorded this, but there was a hidden wall that was not supposed to be a hidden wall, that you would have to hit, like, I don't remember if it was like 50 or 500 times or something like that. That was unintentional, as it turns out, and they patched it out, so I don't think I stayed to hit a wall 50 times, but I could have. These damn ceiling slugs don't feel like falling down, so we just gotta use our throwing knives. That one definitely looked like a hidden wall, but we trust only trust the messages when they say nothing ahead, you know. That one we do get a hidden wall. Depraved Perfumer Carman. Door. There's a way back down the stairs, so we'll just go back for that. Just go back for that. There's a lot down there. It's weird recording these in post. You're not. You sort of know what's gonna happen, and you have to play dumb. Speaking of dumb, here's a message on the door frame, and any self-respecting man would see that as a challenge. So you have to attempt it a few times just to see. And we get a bloodhound knight, all decked out in his pointy helmeted armor. Not sure he doesn't see the light that's closing in, but we take half his health. He interrupts the second power attack, which proves to be quite a damning thing, because he proceeds to royally fuck me up. It hurts. We miss the jump attack. And we use the environment to our advantage, let's say. No point. Oh, look at that guy, man. He leant back just to dodge a jump attack. Evil, pure evil. I figured I've had enough. You can do that if you want. Why did he fire it directly into the ground? Nobody knows. Yeah, we got the bloodhound claws, yay! And liver, eh. Hidden path ahead. Doubt. But hey, happens. And we get a grace, which I thought was weird, because I thought this is all connected, right, to the same manor. So I thought this would just be down the hall from the first grace bonfire that we got. But no, opening these doors, we get an entire area. And let me tell you, Volcano Manor, not named such for no reason. This place is really cool. Why did they build any of it out of wood though? Why did they build any of it here, I must ask? Because half the town is sinking into the into the lava below. What are they doing over there? I thought this was absolutely hilarious the first time. Like, they're just really extendo lizard boys. Yeah, this one is a bit of a long one. I tried to cut out as much as I could, but you know, there's so much exploration, and it's always tough to cut out the exploration bits, because that's the meat. That's the meat and potatoes of the game. Is the finding stuff. That's what I love about these games, is that you get to find stuff. This bridge is out currently. We'll see what we can do about it later. You see the chains dipping into the lava there, and the giant wheels. You know there's a mechanism on the other side that is just begging to be used. Yeah, we're dipping into the next episode now, or the next recorded session. That's why there was a weird cut when we went inside. Dogs, check. Poison, check. We're gonna have a bad time. Delete. We love to see it. There was so many areas, or like so many like little nooks in this area, that it was so hard to explore. Also a lot of tough enemies, like these abductor virgins. Always a tough threat. I hear the scorpion as well. He's nearby. And see that on the roof to the right? There were a bunch of goons gonna throw stuff at us. I hate it when goons throw stuff at us. Living Stone 6, always good as well. And I'm like, I see what I must do. I see the scarab. I just give it a Hail Mary. Worth it. Kind of. It's almost Living Stone 5. It's aight. This guy with his fancy sword just drops in on us. I think that guy is a unique weapon. Well, not a unique weapon, but like, it's a really good weapon with a unique art. I tried to hide from the guy, but line of sights don't really work in this game for like that. So we get grinded into a fine paste in the corner, grabbed, stabbed. Yeah, that's another death. It's gonna happen like that. It's always disappointing when you see the damage that you're not doing. Luckily we had a good piece of advice up here. It said ranged battle ahead, and I definitely took that to heart. Let him tucker himself out. It's times like these that you sort of wish the Dark Souls enemies AI had a similar AI system to Skyrim, where if they're in an area that, if you're in an area that they can't get to, and you're hitting them with stuff, they just run away. Like, these guys will just run at you, even though they can't get you. In Skyrim, they just run for the hills and like, I ain't messing with that. I can get visceral. I'm not sure. I don't even remember if these guys can get visceral. Or like riposted. I don't know the correct term in these games anymore. Hey, they all mean the same thing. But we take them down. As we do. Further down the way, down the stairs. Don't saw key. Oh goodness, there's another one. Hi, birdie. So I'm just contemplating my options right now. Sneak around, sneaky. Of course he wakes up as soon as you're past him. I think that was like a given. I take a hit to take out 3 of them, that was worth. That knocks their fighting capacity down by 60%. And at most it cost me a flask. Lyre ahead, always got to check anyway. So all of that for a Crimson Amber Medallion +1. We take the lessons of ranged battle ahead and you know, we do it. Honed Bolt is bad. Who would have thought? It sucks. It still sucks. I've tried to give it a chance time and time again, and it refuses to help me. So I will use it no longer. Play a bit of Ring Around the Rosie here. Creatively break those barrels so they're not in the way. Using backstep, which as a feature is like very underused. I also at this point have an internal crisis, like, should I jump down? Am I cheesing this fight? And in the end I decide yes. So I decide, hey, let's make this more exciting, eh? What could possibly go wrong? I mean, he's already basically beaten. I've hit him for like 300 damage with lightning bolts. What else is there to do, really? And then you get grabbed. At this point, I don't really know that you can mash out of these grabs, and my hubris has let me down once again. But luckily, we don't have to go upstairs and we don't have to wake this thing up when retrieving our souls. So we just hightail it on out. Why not? Look at this dude. Look at him waddle. Look at him waddle. He armored through that. I think it's so weird what attacks they decide to give armor in this game. That is ridiculous. Behold, ladder. While it's very useful to know that those ladders are there, it's more useful to know where all the loot is. I lived on half the HP. Nice. Oops, sorry, bumped the mic. I feel like the different audio settings made my audio sound better. There's like a lot less background noise, but the noise made from hitting the mic at any point is amplified. I think if I say I think enough, it'll make it more true. I don't know. You be the judge. Tell me how it sounds. So we're just running around. I'm looking for secrets. I know the way is generally going to be down the tower. But I'm looking for other ways to go. Like down there is a way. But it loops around, I'm pretty sure, so pretty useless. Time loop. Right, start again. Whee. Yeah, different entrance, so different way to approach it. We could have gone this way anyway, but like, yeah. Albinoric blood clot. This is probably relevant. These guys are probably Albinorics as well, given how they are old looking, grey, and generally being treated horribly. Doesn't stop us from killing them though. I'm just concerned about the one hanging at the top because he definitely looks textured like a real guy. Yep. Drops down and then dies. Sorry, bro. Just doing what I gotta do. Not sure who they think they're fooling there. You can literally see the arms poking out from behind the barrel. It was so obvious of a trap that I was convinced that there was another trap somewhere. Yeah, that's the original entrance that we got to. Secures us an easy way in, if ever we needed to. This is a very Bloodborne-y area, I feel like. You know that one house in Centurianum with the traps and the old men and the wheelchairs? And it's so dark. Yeah, that. Also, I'm not sure what abomination that was. I want to go home. I can't read that in the not Nier Automata, like, little sister bot voice. Like the ear piercing, I want to go home! And who do you think you're fooling, pretending to be asleep? Pretending to be dead, I guess. Plenty of goons. But we managed to pick them off one by one. They don't aggro each other. So we love to hear that. Always looking up whenever FromSoft gifts you something, like an enemy with its back to you, always look around. Don't take it for granted. I just half expect them to say, "It's a curse. It's a damn curse." Yeah, and that guy alerts everybody with his yapping. I can only imagine it alerts the people behind you if you happen to not have killed them, and then you would get, you know, it from both sides. Like, okay, we see the Grace. Look at how much I do not trust it. I'm like checking I've seen the Grace, but I'm still checking my corners because I don't put it past FromSoft to not trap a Grace at some point. Or have a fake one or something. A la, like, Beast's Den or something from Hollow Knight. We're down to lava level. Hopefully we can find some diamonds soon. Mining away. I switched to the Cypher Pata because, again, I really feel I want to use it. It's just not very good. Not for me, at least. I think Cypher Pata is better if you're going pure faith, because like all of the stats all of the level ups I'm wasting on strength aren't going into this Cypher Pata at all. So I'm missing out on a lot of damage potential. Look at this dude trying to block the Cypher Pata. Like, I could do that, right? I could just chip him down 7, 8, 10, 11 attacks Or I could just get the dismounter out and whack him like 4 times. So yeah, those are what the 2 extra rooms had in store for us. Now we go down. Robert, it go down. It go down. And for a drop that small, you don't really need to use the ladder. The squishy enemies, I guess it's good, because like they just fall over anyway. It's better to kill them quickly at that point. Always check the wraparounds. Every nook of every cranny of every corner of every location that could hold an item, it will be explored, so help me. A lot of fire slugs. A lot of rain down. See, I'm getting screwed over by low range. And why I'm not healing at the moment, there we go, it eludes me. Why get this damage on one of them when I can just switch to the dismounter and swing and hit 4 of them at once for similar, if not more damage? And yeah, I figure that out, don't I? It's just not worth the effort of using a tiny weapon in this game, to me. Unless it's like bastardly busted. Like why dags aren't very good in this game. Reach is so important. And generally I go through these games with great swords or bastard swords or curved great swords. I don't really go for colossal swords, because I find you get diminishing returns with reach. Like sometimes you'll have like the guts, like ultra great sword, right? And you'll swing it and it has barely more range than a curved great sword, but the swing is like 4 times as slow. I'm like, what? Why would I ever use this? It just annoys me. This guy's a whip though, a very weird candlestick whip. 1, 2, 3 into a visceral. And if I was trying to whittle him down with a Cypher Patter, I just take so many more hits. We have cage elevators, which is like a throwback to Demon Souls in what's it, Latria, the prison area. There are a couple of them. I'm not sure if I actually use both of them. I'm not sure I remember to use them. I know I use one of them, and we'll see that later on. But yeah, I'll be paying close attention in editing, and I might go back for that in the main series, because there might be some stuff that I missed. And of course we are going, you know, we're going to be exploring as much as we physically can. Almost Mythic Stone 6 is good. I think I'm looking for 7s at this point in the game. Like, desperately looking for 7s. I'm not sure though. Yeah. The level design is so cool. It's so dense. There are always layers to it. Like, there's the ground layer, and on the ground level alone, right, there are so many corners and buildings to hide things around, so many ways to miss like small areas. Then you look up and there's this like system of rooftops that are falling into the lava, and even the rooftops have depth to them. What you see on one side of a cone might like hide a corpse with an item on the other side. Like, imagine on the other side of this roof there was an enemy, or like something hiding there. On the other side of this roof there was a corpse hanging over, and that's a clue that you can go and get on the roof somehow. So it always urges you to do something extra, to do something more. And look, there's a little path down here. What does that lead to? Or it leads to a slug for one. After you go on a bit, it leads you to this little like cave crevice. But this crevice is, you know, it's a dead end. And you want to know what they try to show you on the other side of this dead end? Dark wings. They only have another magma worm on the other side, and you can't access it. It's just pushing you on to experiment and find new places to go, because it's telling you that there is more. Just look for it. Even if at the moment it just feels like you're jumping at the same wall in place. I had half a mind to just run through the lava and just tank it with heals, but I knew I'd be probably eaten alive by the lava there. Very unforgiving lava in this game, not like in Dark Souls 1 with the chartering. So yeah, two of these elevators. I chose this one thinking it would go down. I chose this one whichever one I chose, it was because I thought it would go down. I was wrong, and I did not get back to it in this episode. So you will just have to accept the consequence of that choice. So I'm very lost at the moment because we still haven't found the map fragment. And we have another of those flame monks standing at the top of the stairs. Very threatening, those guys, because they don't really stagger much, and they have black flames, which deal like damage over time above their like just actual hits. Yeah, we got to challenge him. Not sure why my weapon of choice is the Cypher again. I think it's because I beat them like about the first time I've faced them. Also, it's so interesting how like the space I'm in changes how easy these guys are to fight. Before we fought these guys in a corridor, a tight corridor, and like his aggression just destroyed me. We get the Greaves, we love that. We love our armor sets. One thing that I don't farm later, you know, don't have to farm later. And that's an obvious boss arena, and this is an obvious shortcut back. It's such a cool design. Just the way this looks. And oh man, this I can't get over it. They have an entire bridge. And look at the cages underneath the bridge as well. That tells a story. It tells the story of people literally being hung in those cages beneath a bridge, and when they felt like it, they dunked those prisoners into the lava. One question I have though is, won't you let that cool down a bit before stepping onto it? It's literally been, you know, swimming in lava for many hours, days, years, you know. Anyway. This is our boss fight. Godskin Noble. Now I was very hopeful for this fight, and that hope was shattered right there when he broke my flask immediately and almost killed me. Yeah, because I really enjoyed the Godskin Apostle. It was a really tough fight. But I enjoyed it. This guy, however, I did not enjoy. I don't know. I'd have to fight it again for sure to consolidate my thoughts on it, and I know it shows up later. But like, it has a lot of things which I don't really like in a fight. Some wonky moves like that. This weird like switch on and off between doing nothing and being overly like too aggressive. It's like right there, you know, if he had chased me, he would have killed me. But he does that sometimes, and when he's in the mood to be aggressive, he just swings and swings and swings. Also, like the posture of this boss. He's using a rapier, right? So he's always going to have his sword out in front of him. So the animation of him like swinging is so like slight that it's hard to actually judge. Also, what the fuck is that? We're talking about janky moves. What the fuck is that? I love the long swings. They're so elegant, right? Because rapiers are very like quoted as very elegant weapons. That was my fault. I died. Sure did. And he had insult to injury, just body slams on me.
Well, I took you for dead no matter. Lay out your own.
Yeah. I get an upgrade for my weapon. I have enough smithing stone 6s at this moment. Not enough souls, but we can remedy that very easily. So, Godskin Noble was so inconsistent for me, but I kept like flip-flopping between having really good runs and having runs where I died in the first 10 seconds of the fight. And it's that inconsistency that really like annoyed me. It rubbed me the wrong way. Cause I just have to roll and roll and roll and roll and roll because he attacks 600 times. Why not? Also, I was battling. I was fighting the camera this fight because camera lock refused to lock onto him through these pillars. So you'll see me like turning around a lot. Yeah, his attacks did. Another thing, the impact of attacks, right? He will thrust his rapier at you, and like it's a very slight movement. It's a very quick attack. You expect an attack like that to deal less damage, right? It's very quick. It's hard to punish. Like a big attack, like a big stomp or a, you know, a really charged up thrust like that, for example. You expect it to deal damage, but this guy deals so much damage with his very quick moves, and it punishes any sort of aggression. Like even that attack was pretty, you know, pretty quick, and it dealt like half the damage, half the health is damage. It's hard to get a read on him. I'm sure if I fought him again, maybe I'd have a better time of it. Now that I've fought him once, that's generally like the thing with fights like this. Like once you've faced it once, then you sort of get a feel for it. And right now I'm just like not very happy with this fight. So I'm just tanking it with my shield, why not? See how many times I tried to lock onto him there, but the camera is just spazzing. And yeah, you never know when he's going to do 2 stomps, so you can't punish that attack. Sometimes his attacks just sail over you, which is weird. Rolling away from him when he does that fire attack is bad, because if you just stay next to him it doesn't hit you, which is ridiculous to me. And then he can attack like that and hit my shield even though I'm like to the left and in front of him, and the attack went over my head then, but it still hit somehow. Generally there's a lot of hitbox shenaniganry in this game. Well, at least a little bit. Well, what is this? What do you do against that? Except pray. Such swift multi-hit moves. If you're in the way of those moves, you just die. You roll it and then you get caught in the next move and you're screwed. Or you roll it late and then you get hit by a full thing. Why not? That move is so massive as well. Yeah, I mean, this was a decent attempt. I mean, look at his health, 5-6 heals left. But, you know, I get fucked in the corner. And, yeah. Remember what I said about the multi-hit move? Dead. Dead as a doorknob. Or something, I don't know. What's the saying? Or did you just make that up? Who knows? So, such an amazing run like that. Let's see what the next attempt looks like. We go retrieve our runes from behind the table. They try to hide them from us. Why not? Broken shield instantly. One attack, 40% HP. I'm definitely hitting him with these moves, but you know, they don't hit. One other attack, 10 HP remaining. Get the heal. One attack, 40% HP. Broken shield, dead. He's on 90% HP. It's the inconsistency of this boss. They're praying for the good patterns. And it's not even praying for good moves at this point, because it doesn't have any bad moves. It doesn't have any moves that you're like, oh, there's the move, I can punish that. They are all threatening and they all do so much damage that you're like, I hope what I'm doing right now doesn't get punished by the move that can be punished by. It's a stressful fight when it, I don't think, has any right to be. It's not even a, I don't think it's even a difficulty thing at this point, because this doesn't have the difficulty of a final boss, but it's got the stress of it. This is meant to be a goon, you know. Sure, he's like a godskin, but like, you know. Sacred Blade doing work for the first time ever. Like the beam of Sacred Blade. Goodness, what do you do? What do you do? I had a good time with these two pillars, the two ones that are close together. Because I don't think he can walk between them. He can roll through them, which is ridiculous. But he can't actually pass through them. That's really weird. Bonk. Yeah, that's just a massive thing there. Yeah. That's too much. And yep, he decided to do the move that would punish the punish my punish, which is usually safe, unless he does that move. And at that point, what do you do if not pray pray that the correct patterns show up? Yeah, we loop him around the pillars, get our runes. Sacred Blade being blocked by a candelabra, and we're dead. We get another good run, but yeah. I think I've said all I have to say in this fight. It's just a bit annoying. It's a bit annoying that we have to fight it multiple times as well. Because at least with some of these fights, like, you fight Radahn and you're pissed at him and it's a shit fight. But at least after Radahn is done, you never have to fight him again unless you're playing the game again. These guys show up multiple times. The gargoyles are shit fights. They show up multiple times. It's annoying. The Etri burial like statue things, they show up multiple times. But the reason nobody really complains about them is that they're not an annoying fight. They're pretty easy. Even when they throw two of them at you, you can take on two pretty easily. It doesn't feel like a gank boss, even then, even though it is, you know? Why do you make your tough fights come back? It undermines the feeling of achievement that players get from beating them. Because they're like, what did I do that for? A bit of loot? 90% of the loot in this game is not applicable to 90% of the players. Look at this. The camera lock turned me around twice when he's just walking directly at me. Unbelievable. Look at the lag. I'm so happy that that lag sort of fixed itself mostly later on. But it's dastardly. It's like, yeah. So much to say. So much to see, so much to do, so much to see. And in the end, I sort of default to this strategy of use Sacred Blade a bunch. Destroy the chairs, because the chairs are really annoying. Cherish the punishes that you get, because sometimes they just don't feel like working. Somehow managed the dodge on that, but he does manage to get me since he's rolling for 17 years. Flying Candle Man. Unplayable game, to be honest. I joke, of course. This is an amazing game. I feel like I have to qualify every time I criticize it with saying I love this game. I just wish it would be better. Rolling start. Did not mean to switch back. Get me heal. I half expected that to hit me, to be honest, but I feel like he goes until he hits you. Or like he goes longer if he doesn't hit you. Hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. Yeah, very false. Godskin Stitcher, 12 deaths. Noble presence. Noble. Serpent's Amnion, quest item. Yeah, that'll be it for this episode. Thanks for listening to me rant. Back to regular scheduled programming. Next time on Elden Ring. See you then. Goodbye.